Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Gnobot Studios. Welcome to another Grit Fantasy RPG video. For today's topic, I'll be talking about the tables. Now, I have made other videos about tables in the book, but I wanted to talk specifically about how they're rolled out. Now, I designed these to be used at your discretion, but I feel like there needs to be some clarity about how they're implemented. And when I talk about this, I mean the tables that have like a single die roll and like multiple columns of choices, okay? I don't think this is going to be a very long video, but I want to go through some examples just to show you, okay? So the first one is going to be in the characters section. And this is on page 35. In step 6, and this is about features. Okay, so you got a D10 roll, right? So you roll a D10, and then you're faced with 4 different choices, or 4 different columns of stuff, right? So the idea behind this is to generate one item on the list here in the table, right? So if I roll a D10 and I get noticeable, right? Roll a 5, I'm at noticeable. I have now 4 choices to make. It's not all 4 of those things. Like you don't get symbol, muscles, posture, and scent. Like you don't get all 4. You get one thing. So you can either roll a D4 to generate one of those randomly, or you can just pick one that sounds the best. Okay, so you're not like noticeable, symbol, muscles, posture, scent, because that kind of doesn't make sense. And if you think about it logically, why would I design it that way? If I can just like write out a description with all those things in a single line, right? So this kind of table is designed to sort of give you a lot of choices in a very short amount of space, right? I'm doing some work on the Grit Galaxies to make this a little more clear, like in the description of what the table is. I'm not sure that's going to help, but the idea is that you only have one choice in those. There's another one, another table, next page over. Same kind of thing. It's a D20 table. There are 4 columns of stuff. If you roll like a 12, startled by, you're not going to be startled by all those things. You're going to get one of those, okay? So you roll a D4 or you choose. If you wanted a couple, then I would roll 2D20, you know? So you could get like, you know, startled by sudden noises and fascinated by artifacts, you know, for example. So that's just another thing just to show you just how these are intended to be used. Again, multiple things are not bad, but it's not all 4 in a line, okay? The next one, just to show you here, is in the Story Builder. Now, this is a big one, okay? So Story Builder is designed to generate descriptions for the plot, terrain, location, detail, and event. That's 1 each of a plot, terrain, location, detail, and event. Again, you can use these as at your discretion, but when you get into this table here, number 3, that's location, if you rolled a 6, it's not a cemetery and a castle. It's one or the other. So you roll a D4, 1 or 2 is cemetery, 3 or 4 is castle. If you want to roll a 2D20 and pick for the 1 die, you pick the first column, and the second die, you pick the second column, go for that too. Or just pick 2 if you wanted to, but you only need 1. Because the idea in the Story Builder is to have only 4 tags, basically, for this, okay? That's to just keep it all simple and concise for you as the GM. You get into the next page, and you're also faced with multiple columns. Again, it's a D20 for the detail, and you only get 1 of those. So if I roll a 16, I got strange fissures, disguised loot, flooded area, and thick dust. It's not all 4 of those. You get 1. All right. I know I keep repeating myself here, but this is kind of like what I want to, make this known here. So same thing goes with the event. And then if you get into the other builders with the encounters, you've got action and complication. So action, you could roll the D4 in addition to the D12. 1 or 2 is the first column. 3 or 4 is second column. Complication is D12 and a D4, or just pick one of those. Again, if I wanted to make, a long description with all kinds of stuff, I would have written it out as a full line or 2 of text. Okay, so these are made to be very quick, easy tags, basically, to kind of define what these things are so that your prep is super fast and easy. Okay. And again, there's nothing wrong with having multiples, just they're not meant to be kind of grouped up in a line. I didn't specifically put Summoning Circle, Strong Currents, Slippery Moss, and Locked Gate together. They're designed to be separate. So, and then just the last one is the Monster Builder. And that gets into the narrative tags. Of course, with narrative tags, there's only 4 for monsters in the book, so that's the maximum number. You could roll 4d20 if you wanted to, and just like dedicate 1 to each column, or you could just roll a 4d20 and a 4d4 and do all that, or just 4d20 and pick 4. So, okay, so it's just meant to be 4 because every single monster in the book has 4 tags. So, very simple. And that is really all I wanted to talk about with that. Just wanted to add some clarity on how these tables are rolled. And again, with galaxies, I'm going to, I've already written in some stuff to kind of help clarify that. And if I do a revised edition ever of Grit Fantasy RPG, I will be including that as well. So anywho, that is all. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that added some, clarity to the situation. I know I said the word clarity a million times here, but there you go. So anyway, thanks for joining me again, and I appreciate you. And hey, keep rolling those dice.